Welcome, friends. My name's Kevin McGuire, and we are live from Gatlinburg.
Moving straight forward to November 28th, our house was getting full of smoke, so I decided to call the fire department around 7:35, and the lady very calmly said, "Well, you might want to consider getting your things together, even though last time we heard the fire was about 2 miles from you." Well, I hung up the phone and started up the stairs to tell my daughter, and I look out and the whole backyard's on fire. I've never seen a glowing red sky before, but that's what I saw. So we got my two grandsons together and gathered up what pets we could. I had two dogs, two little ones, and she has two bigger ones. Then we had three cats, and we got one of the cats out. But we literally had maybe 4 to 6 minutes to get everything that we could, which wasn't much. But we got the boys out first, of course, and my daughter put them in. I have a truck and a car. She put them in the truck, and then I came out with the pets, and she tried to get her car started, and it wouldn't start, which normally it does. And my car had not been starting, but it started, which to me was the beginning of the miracles that dominoed down that day.
And what time was that?
That was about 7:45. Yeah. But so my car started miraculously enough, and so she drove my car with all the pets in it, and I had the truck with the two grandsons in it. Out of the driveway, I looked back, and the whole side of my house was already on fire. The kitchen was already totally engulfed, and the neighbor's house was totally engulfed. And so we started down the road, and as we were going, I noticed that my neighbors, both of their vehicles were still in the driveway, and I saw their TV was on, and so I stopped and I went and started beating on their door because the fire was in their backyard, and I didn't know if they were even aware of it or not. But they never came to the door, and my grandson started yelling that the fires were getting closer, so I got back up in the truck and started back down. And going down the mountain, I don't remember going down the mountain. But my grandson, who is 14, said that I told him to hang out the side of the truck and try to navigate our way down. We lived on the very top of the mountain at Wiley Oakley on Bear Walk Way, and the fire was literally coming up both sides of the mountain. So he navigated our way down, and he said that we were driving over tree limbs that were on fire, and the winds were blowing embers against the windows of the truck. But when we got down to the bottom, this is where my memory comes back up. And I know I yelled at a police officer who was about to get into his car, and I said, "Which way do you want us to go?" Because they were diverting traffic. And he had come closer to my car and told us just to follow him. He was getting ready to head out. So he goes to get back into his car, and as he did, a tree fell over onto his car. And had he been in the car, it would have crushed him. That, no doubt. There was just fires all around. And honestly, I don't know how we got away. I just don't. Went back, but some friends from Indiana came to help us to see if we could recover anything. And one of the girls found a coffee cup that had belonged to my dad. And it's so funny because it's a coffee cup that I had bought for him when I was here visiting in Gatlinburg back in the 70s. And it was melted, but you could still read everything on it. And I was just so thrilled to get that coffee cup. And as you know, unless you've been through something like this, you just can't imagine how some simple little coffee cup could mean so much. But yeah, it meant a lot to me to get that.
We are here with Genie Brabham. Hey, Genie, how are you?
Good, Kevin. How are you?
Good. How you feeling today?
Mountain pissed.
Mountain pissed. All right, tell me all about it.
Yes, sir. And till we got a phone call from a friend that lived in the Glades who lived high up and said that it looked like the mountain behind us was on fire. We needed to get out. And right after I hung up with her, one of my neighbors in Chalet Village called me and said that the woods were on fire by him, that he was getting out. So I immediately got on the phone and called my sister, who was home watching TV. Nothing was on TV with any alerts. The wind was blowing really bad, and this was about 7:45 that night. And by the time they hung up the phone with me and grabbed the cat and the dog and tried to get off of the mountain, they wrecked both cars, but were still able to find their way down the mountain through numerous trees and opening their door, looking at the road to figure out how to get down, were able to get off the mountain. When I called my sister, I told Nancy, get your bags together, let's go, and we got to get out of here. So let's go by my house and get my 2 cats. So we came down the spur, which was already shut down. They wouldn't let us through. So we went back through town and tried to get up Campbell Lead. Campbell Lead, we got up about 1/4 mile, and the cops come racing down and said, you got to turn around. The whole mountain's on fire. You can't get up. Well, at that point, I was not going to risk Nancy's life trying to get up there to get to my cats. And so we got back down and went and got into traffic on Highway 321. And we were stuck in traffic. We stopped and picked up another elderly friend and brought her with us. We remained in 3-hour traffic heading towards Newport to get out of town. And we finally made it to Dandridge and got a hotel. And of course, not knowing, I got a call from a friend who snuck up the mountain the day after the fires and told me that everything was gone. There was nothing left but cinder block and chimneys. You know, I've gone to many meetings. I've approached many council members. I've approached mayors questioning why didn't they evacuate us early. In fact, I have a little report here that I'd like to read that states, it was in the newspaper, the News Sentinel, that states on the morning of November the 28th, it states from the National Weather Service in Morristown issues a special weather statement for areas including Sevier County, portions of the Smoky Mountains, Sevierville, and Gatlinburg. Enhanced fire danger is due to strong and gusty winds that are expected to develop as the day progresses. Winds will increase by late afternoon with gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour, possible above 2,000 feet. Gusts between 40 and 50 miles per hour over 3,500 feet. The strong and gusty winds will make conditions near ongoing wildfires very dangerous, allowing them to possibly spread at a fast rate. Any new fires that develop will also have a chance to spread quickly. Well, at one of the meetings at the City Hall in Gatlinburg, I confronted the fire chief because my understanding he was the one that's supposed to give the evacuation notice, or was it Cindy Ogle? I don't know. But with this statement from the National Weather Service, why didn't they evacuate the entire city at that time? And if they would have, 14 people wouldn't be dead, and probably many more.